Nnamdi Kanu. Court tries to force defense to begin. They try to force Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to start defense. They try to force the defense to begin. The same thing Binta Nyako was doing when Binta Nyako was removed from the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and she was trying to force herself for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to start. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood his ground. And they forced Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to voice out and say, you cannot try me. You can no longer handle my case. I don't want you in my case. The same thing is happening today. They want to force to begin the defense. Justice Omotosho, Mr. Kanu, are you ready to open your defense or not? Chineke. And Kanu responded, I will open my defense now, this minute, if you show me the extant law under which I am charged. You see, when they say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu don't want to defend himself, he doesn't want to enter defense. Did you hear what my brother responded here? That was what that lawyer was explaining. That it's not that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is refusing to enter defense. He said, show me the law under which you are trying me, then I enter defense. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said here. When Omotosho told Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, are you ready to open your defense or not? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, I will open my defense now, this minute, if you show me the extant law under which I am charged. A simple question, show me. The whole court fell silent. The entire court was shut down. In silence, everybody was in cold. Awomolo's son attempted an attack and failed. Awomolo's son rose. He is wasting the time of the court. He should proceed to his defense. Kanu faced him squarely. Trust Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he's not somebody who can intimidate. Now that he's representing himself, he can't intimidate. I love the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if it were to our lawyers, you know they can intimidate lawyers. They intimidate the lawyers, including the son. They intimidate. You can't intimidate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu faced him squarely. Senior advocates, you accuse me of wasting time? Produce the law. If you show it to me, I will enter the dock this second. Let the world hear it. Did you hear? So it wasn't that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was refusing to enter the field. No, he said, show me the law under which you are trying me, and that we enter defense immediately, that second. He will not waste more than a second. He will enter the dock. You brought somebody to the court. You can't be able to show him the law under which you are prosecuting him. You can't even show him the offense he has committed. Which law has he broken that made it to bring him to court? It took the entire court day. The prosecution counsel could not state it. The judge himself could not state it. When we say that this is persecution, not a persecution, now you understand. And the whole world was watching. International observers were there watching these things. When we say Nigeria is a zoo, what else? Where else can you see this kind of a thing happen? Where else can you see this kind of a thing happen? Bringing somebody without any charge, without any law, and tell the person to put it on defense. And they are forcing him, blackmailing him, emotionally blackmailing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But you see, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not broken. It doesn't matter who the hell you are. And I thank Chukwu Okeke that he's the one speaking up for himself, not like when he was allowing others to speak. Awomolo's son sat down, silent. Observers whisper, checkmate. Kanu accused the court of denying fair hearing. And that is exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. Denying him fair hearing. That is exactly what it is. It cannot be anything less than that. And when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that, it wasn't a mistake. That is exactly what they are doing. Excuse me, just 1 minute. Awolowo Post shuffled his papers, and I've read here. Sorry, I'm just trying to move it up. Yeah, court tries to force defense to begin. Justice Omotosho, Mr. Kanu, are you ready to open your defense or not? Kanu, I will open my defense now. This minute, if you show me the extant law under which I am charged. Court fell silent. Amolowo's son attempt to attack and fails. Awomolowo's son rose. He is wasting the time of the court. He should proceed to his defense. Kanu faced him squarely. Senior advocate, you accuse me of wasting time. Produce the law. If you show it to me, I will enter the dock this second. Let the world hear it. Awolowo's son sat down silent. A simple question. They couldn't answer that question throughout the whole day. Observers whispers. Checkmate. Cannot accuse the court of denying fair hearing. Cannot. This is constructive denial of fair hearing. You refuse to acknowledge the repeal of the law. Refuse to obey the Supreme Court. Refused judicial notice. That is persecution, not trial. And exactly that is what it is. That is what it is. And when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made that statement, the court did not challenge that statement he made because they know it was right. The only thing they did was to adjourn the case to today. After Kanu, our leader, made this accusation, this is constructive denial of fair hearing. You refuse to acknowledge the repeal of the law, refuse to obey the Supreme Court, refuse judicial notice, and that is persecution, not trial. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said this, the court was silenced. The court did not challenge that statement. Nobody challenged it. The only thing the judge did was to adjourn the case to today. And today is Wednesday. We are waiting for the next action. What is going to happen? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu maintains his position. No law, no trial. This is exactly what transpired yesterday. Word to word. So now you understand. When we are talking about persecution, not persecution, hatred on Igbo, you can see, imagine taking somebody to court under a law that does not exist. A simple question. Tell me the law that you brought me here for. What offense have I committed? Tell me what charges. Once you tell me, I will enter defense. They couldn't answer this question throughout yesterday. Nothing. They were only blackmailing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu emotionally to force him to indict himself. That's what they're trying to do. They force him to indict himself. That's what they're trying to do. And I bet you today it's going to be much more interesting. This was the same thing Binta Yako did. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu relieved her of his case, she was trying to force herself, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave it to me. And today, I'm sure, Omowolowo or whatever he called himself, Omotosho, is going to get it water today in the court. And we are waiting to see what is going to be the outcome. My beloved brother Christian, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining.
Well, just morning.
Take the mic, my brother.
No, because one been battling. Tamara, said this because phone can't know about phone. So on email much in terms of send either super chat or whatever or naga. So the other one use a laptop at Portugal. I don't know what is happening. And no Holland. My son helped me. They are technological, they are born into it. Yes. They are born into it. So I'm very limited, but I'm not UK. So the thing, but it is well. We continue to.
It is well.
We just have to continue. We have no choice. We can lead Jehovah because so far so good. And based off what you just said, you can see that this is what they do with a lot of ignorant people in terms of justice system. They just try to bully you around, just bamboozle you into what is unlawful, because Nigeria is an unlawful state. So within Nnamdi Kanu, the kind of media Waterloo, and so he asked the judge, Omotosho, and the whole of yesterday he couldn't continue. He couldn't, no answer. He had no answer because it doesn't exist. The law doesn't exist. So he probably then he postponed it to today. So probably he will now go down to begin to crack his brain on what else, what other lies, what other manipulations, to come up with. But like you said, we shall see what he's going to come up with, because lawyers who know as much, if not better, they narrated it yesterday, including a lawmaker. The lawmaker said there's no such law in the book. So where are you going to come up with a law that does not exist to convict somebody? We shall follow, watch and see what they're going to do. This guy, Omotosho, is also very, very critical, because now of all time, the entire world is watching. Their eyes is focused on him. And if care is not taken, he's going to go down as one of those that will be spotted out for the evil, atrocities, genocide, everything that goes on in that country, the perversion, the perversion of justice that Nigeria is known for. He's going to go down. His assets, his whatever international will be cancelled, because the world, their eyes is focused on what he's going to come up with. When you are trying to convict somebody on law that does not exist, that is not recognizable. So we are watching. Odek, my brother, I just have to say that it cannot lead you over for what is going on. One would not have believed that in our eyes, just in our present time, things will be happening like this. And it's happening a lot. It's happening a lot. It's happening in such a way. The level of panic, the level of confusion, nobody questions anyone. And it's just not just nobody questions anyone, including workers of people, the workers of iniquities online everywhere. And it is well, we're giving it back to them one way or the other. I don't have a platform, but everywhere I go, I'm always like, I wish these guys would come online, like your platform, for example, because when I see them sometimes online, they try to make arguments or project something. I'm like, if they can come online, let us have a debate. Let's talk about it. Why not? Any one of you. Exactly. Because when I hear them, when I see them make this their point, it doesn't make sense at all. The one day, David one day, or what they call his name, the Yoruba guy, I understand how they feel, that they are maybe one Nigerianist or Pan-Africanist or whatever. But the point remains that we have to be able to sit down and talk.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, we see where the chip will fall. It's incredible. It's an amazing time we live in. Because yesterday I saw on this woman who she was on VOP, but she has her own platform now. Precious, and he interviewed extensively the guy you show his video yesterday from Benue. You remember the guy? I think he's a student in the United States. So she interviewed him extensively, comprehensively, and the guy touched on everything. Bro, a lot is going on.
Yes.
So there are people who are making accusations that is the Igbos, the IPOB, that created this whole pandemonium going on by reporting to Trump, blah, blah, blah. They said a lot. They're always looking for a scapegoat. Everything is in the Igbo.
Then even if it is it a lie?
Well, I'm coming to that, you know, because we have every reason to do what we do. And you know, the likes of Boala and Reno Mockery in particular, a demonic, demented individual, Reno Mockery, you know, because he is from part of the old Eastern South region.
Yeah.
But the hatred in his heart towards Ndibo
It's so much.
it has gotten to a point because initially I used to think that the hatred he has for P2B is based off of political ground, right? Because P2B is a politician contesting against, should I say, his principal, whom he has also called a drug trafficker in the past. But now that they brought him in to pay him money, he's one of their advocates now. So, but the truth is that I used to think that he hated P2B because he's a political opponent, sort of. But I've come to the realization that it's just a deep, deep hatred he has for Ndibo, you know. So, obviously, him and Boala, they talked about this whole thing, how IPOB, because when you talk about IPOB, we know you are referring to Ndibo and Biafran as a whole. But the question is, can they not acknowledge the marginalization of Ndibo in Nigeria, of Biafrans? Let me just say Biafran. Why do I have to say Biafran? Because we also know what they do to other Biafrans who are not Igbo speaking. Basically, we see it.
Even though they don't voice out, we see it.
We see how they gang up against Jonathan. That what is happening now, they did it to Jonathan in 2014.
Of course.
You know? So obviously, this is the time to this is it. This is the time. Because the enmity is real, the gang up is real. And that is why I don't trust any of these people. I just don't trust them at all. But the good thing is that God himself has risen up and is shining light on the dark places. I've always said, I think it was the time I used to appear on Van Van's program. I told him that Nigeria is like a farmer that went to get fetch wood in the bush, and he fetched the one with ants, and he fetched it back home, and now he can't no comfort. He's unstable, and he's running hectares everywhere. So that is the man they kidnapped, Nnamdi Kanu. They do not know what they've done. Nigeria has dug its own grave by kidnapping, the maltreatment, the torture, everything meted on an innocent man, a child of God, Chineke. And they brought him in for like going to 5 years now. They locked him up. And it's an accumulation of so many things, because that's how God rules.
Yes.
Your prayer will be working. Other sources internationally will be working. Every hands will begin to work at the same time. Then it becomes what you can call a perfect storm. So that is what is hitting the zoo now, perfect storm. Because I know that Nnamdi Kanu, in that seclusion, in that dungeon where they put him, Nnamdi Kanu will draw down the power of heaven. Nnamdi Kanu 24/7 will be calling the angels of heaven to come down and bring destruction upon the zoo. And the destruction has come. The destruction has come upon the zoo because their cup don't full. All the atrocities, all the injustices, all the blood of the innocent wasted unnecessarily have all cried and reached unto the high heavens. The zoo can run now, but they cannot hide. It's an amazing time we live in. Let us say, this is not just ordinary. This is not just physical. This is beyond the world spiritual, what is happening. Nobody
Yes.
would have thought so. Everybody's wrong, including all the gang ups, all the conspirators, the Sultan and the Emirs and the Sanusis and the Erufai and the
They are all on the
Dangotes,
run.
all of them, God has shone a light to expose their evil. So something's going to have to give. They're going to have to decide what to do because this journey they embarked on to impose Islamism and Fulanization upon more than close to 150 million people combined, you a tiny minority of about 10% from Futajelon, who are not Nigerian. Futajelon, that is where they came from, think that you will take over the entire country, make it an Islamic country, just because you have some nations aiding and abetting you. Well, God has risen, and the coming of Trump, I've always known that from either January or February this year, I was on so many programs. Okocha program was there. I was always telling them, I said, look, that something's going to happen. I just have that inclination. I told him, I said, look, that Trump might have a lot on his plate, quite all right. Internally, externally, he has a lot on his plate. But at some point, he's going to get to that turn. People never believe it, but we are here. We are there now. And they said, yeah, and they said, it's because of oil. It's because he asked Tinubu to take the party, blah, 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 blah.
Nonsense.
You continue to lie to yourself. No, just continue to deceive yourself, delude yourself. About 8 years ago, Trump has raised this issue. That is unacceptable that a government will be knowingly, actively conniving with Islamic terrorists to wipe away Christians. Well, if you, because I see even some pastors, notably the Yoruba pastors, who come to say that it's not genocide because they don't see Christians being beheaded on the street here. Sort of craziness.
My brother, I was shocked. I was shocked when I saw that statement from that man. Ade Farasi, or what they call himself.
Yeah, I didn't know him, as a matter of fact. When I heard Ade Farasi, I thought he's because there's another Ade Farasi pastor, but this one looks different. There's the one I know on TV that has spoken with one guy like that. I don't know if he lived in the US or he currently, maybe he was there before, but now in Nigeria. So that's the one I knew to be Ade Farasi. I didn't know that they are two, because this one now looks a little bit fairer and older than the other one that I know. Who came out.
It might be the same person. He's sick. Now, you don't see that he looks sick.
Are you kidding me?
He looks sick and shaking. Didn't you see him? You watch that clip where he was speaking now. Watch the video. You see him shaking. He couldn't even walk.
But wait, bro. The Ade Farasi that I said I know looks darker in skin tone and younger and more so. I'm trying to remember. Sorry, don't be patient with me with my. So there's this brother, a guy, Tony, who was doing with some Yoruba group. What would they call it? Tony Nnadi, right? Tony Nnadi.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've seen this Ade Farasi with Tony Nnadi on a church congregation one Sunday like that. Mm. So. And this Ade Farasi looks really, really young. And I don't know. The one I saw a few days ago, who was saying that
which year did you see the one you're talking about? Which year was that?
With Tony Nnadi. Maybe a year or two ago.
I don't even know that. I know I've been hearing about this Ade Farasi, but I don't know whether if they are two. But I don't know whether if they are true, but the one I saw, that one looked very sick. It might be that very one. Maybe hand don't meet up.
Because bro, the one that I talked about with Tony Nnadi was the one on that same puppy that day. He said that Nigeria was was badly constructed by the British without the consent of the people, and that there's need to change the whole dynamics, the whole structure, the whole system, everything. And he very much agreed with Tony Nnadi. They are, in fact, quite frankly, I think they've known each other They know each other. So when I saw this one, they say Adefarasi, and I'm looking at him from the facial angle. He doesn't look like the other one. And the age-wise, he look much older. Well, I don't know. But anyway, we shall see. If there's a, maybe I will go into it, try to see if there's
the one
another.
you're talking about is also a general overseer.
Yeah, he owns the church himself.
This one also owns. I don't know whether if they have two at the Farasi. I've not know whether they have two or one.
Bro,
this one,
to be honest with you,
this one, because when I saw this one, when I saw him, I knew that I used to see him before. He's not like this, but now he's sick. When you hear his voice, he was even shaking when he was going back.
Jesus Christ! You know, when I saw this very one that I said that I thought it was another one. When I saw him, the way he speaks, the way he walks, the footstep doesn't look it's so uncoordinated. So if he's the same one, then obviously something. So obviously something is not right. But in any case, we leave that to God. We will all account to God. They are the boys of this world. They Jesus Christ. Look, bro, if there was any doubt, if there was even an iota of doubt on anybody in relative to the existence of God, the answer is here. Because people are before they will say you reap what you sow. No, you repeat now. You don't even repeat.
Now, not tomorrow. Nothing like tomorrow.
You know, tomorrow the judgment has come.
The evil that men do live with them. He lives with them, not after them.
He lives with them. He doesn't live after them. He lives with them now. And you know what? The judgment has come, and is beginning in the church, in the so-called house of God. Because to say what Adefarasi said, man, chills all over my spine, saying that it's been happening, but that does not constitute a genocide, because we have Christians walking on the street and their head are not being chopped off. That is how he tried to, that's how, from what he said. And I'm like,
somebody is writing at the comment section. He said there is Yemi Adefarasi. Which one is which? I don't know which one. I know Adefarasi. I don't know their first name. Somebody goes on the comments and say Yemi Adefarasi. Which other Adefarasi? If you know it, write it. Write the two Adefarasi. Look, we'll see.
Exactly.
Because we know only one of them. Adefarasi surname is what we know. But that first name, if you know the other one, write it. Let's see.
Okay. So,
go ahead, my brother.
So obviously, and I was like, so until Christians walking on the street begin to have their head chopped off, is that when you will know that it's a genocide, right? Jesus Christ.
But hasn't it happened? The pastor of Redeem that was preaching in Abuja, that head was chopped off.
Okay.
Did it happen?
You are to him, the way he put it, what I read.
Let him go and preach. Let him go and preach in Adamawa. Go and preach in Sokoto. Let him go and carry his megaphone. Go and preach in the open air. Early morning. Go and do your early morning preaching in Sokoto, Bronu, Adamawa. Let him go and do it and come back. Let's know that his head are not being chopped off.
Because what I read from that is that for him to believe or to be convinced that there is a Christian massacre genocide will be when an individual walking on the street, maybe you're a Christian, whatever, and they just stop you, chop off your head. That is where he will now agree that is a Christian genocide. But that is very, very evil and mischievous way to look at things, because places where you have genocide, it doesn't mean that everybody has to be taken out 100%. It's never ever going to be possible. But you have to look at pattern. It is the pattern that the word genocide, even the dictionary meaning of the word genocide, is you look at the pattern, a particular set of people, they are being persecuted, they are being by one way or the other because of either their religion or their tribe or culture. And that is what is happening in Nigeria. Because, they say Muslims get killed too. Yeah, it's possible, because there are Muslims who will not buy into the idea, that terrorist ideology. So they become a target too. So there are Muslims who they will feel are informants, maybe gives information one way or the other. So, but obviously, who are the one killing? Even if you want to say both sides, Christian, Muslim, but who is the one doing the killing? Is Muslims. they're all Muslims. All Muslims may not be terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims. Tell me, anywhere in the world where you have Christian goes about massacring people, anywhere in the world, just show me one, and I will settle down with you wherever. Nowhere. Christianity has evolved over during the medieval time. Even before the medieval time, Christianity has evolved. They can preach to you, they can ask you to invite you, whatever. But if you don't believe in it, nobody's gonna put gun on your head and blow you up. This is fact. Now, so my brother, let's get back to the main issue, because is an interesting time, and actually yeah, we have to see what happens now. This man Omotosho and the criminal evil system hand go meet them, because enough is enough now. Every day is for the thief. One day will be for the owner of the house. So I think that President Trump is a saint. God's hand is there. That is why they were not able to take him out. Through times they tried to take him out, but God has a mission for him. And again, like I said, you can say what you like. You can say what you feel. I don't care. At the end of the day, the guy is on a mission by Chuko Kabiama and is pursuing it. And I knew this time was going to come. And he's here now. And my appeal, however it's going to be, either through writing, communicate, whatever it is, we must let him know that he started this thing like 8-9 years ago about the massacre, the genocide against Christians, but it was halfway done. You don't have to, when you do something halfway, it gets worse than it were. So sometimes it's better you don't start something than start it and end it halfway. Meaning that it has to be finished this time around. And thank goodness, thank heaven that Ted Cruz has already set that in motion. That one, they must remove Sharia law from Nigerian constitution, because Nigeria is a secular country. Therefore, Sharia law or Christian ecclesiastical law has no business being in the constitution, since Nigeria is a secular state where you have Muslims, you have Christians, you have atheists, you have all kind of religion, all kind of people. So if they cannot remove that, then the President Trump, with this golden opportunity, this opportunity that has been granted by Chukwuka Abiyama, has to go ahead and disintegrate the country. So, because it's as simple as anything you can ever imagine. Why? Because why must you force yourself on people? We and these people are not one. We are not the same. Not even the only thing we have in common with this northern Islamic, whatever you want to call them, is the skin color. Other than that, there's nothing. Just that we are black. I'm telling you now, but choose not to take too much of your time. Before man and God, I am more relatable to the Western world. If you take away the skin color, I am more comfortable and more relatable. I have a lot more in common with the Western world than these Northerners, and including the Yorubas too. I must confess, because for me, I speak my mind. I don't care, including the Yorubas, because with the Yorubas, I don't speak their language, they don't speak my language. I don't have the same religion, the same culture. They don't have the approach, their mannerism, their thinking, their solution, their approach to solving issues is different from mine. We don't bow down to human being. We bow down to Chukwuka Abiyama. Him and him alone we bow down to greet. Who is only God in heaven, the one that has the power to take the body and the soul and do whatever he wants. That is the one we lie down, we lie down and bow for, not human being. Okay? So I'm speaking in terms of overall picture, overall, so for the most part, we don't do that. As in Igbo, we just don't do that. So you can see the difference. And the Yorubas in population, they're about maybe close to 60, 70 million. That is more than 10 countries in the world. If you check, given the father, there are nations that are like 1 million, some less, some are 2 million. So the Yorubas are enough, the Oduduwa, they are enough to have their own country. More than enough to do whatever, live their life the way they want to live. without we as Biafra interfering. We can only be good neighbors, trade together, right? We trade together just like you would trade with any other country in the world. The Arewas, the Northerners, they are more than enough too. Maybe 60, 70 or whatever. So goes the Biafrans too. So a lot is happening, and this is the time, like I said, we have to really seize the moment. Nigeria is X. This Nigeria you see today is gone. It's X. EX. Nigeria is gone. It's no longer, it's like when you have your former friend or former house or whatever. That is what Nigeria is. And we will do, Nigeria is X. So we have to do,
X, big one, a very big one, X.
So we must, we have to push because the opportunity.
Bro Christian, before you continue, that very man you're talking about, somebody have written, he said that Yemi, the Yemi is not the one that made that blunder. The one that made that blunder is another Adefarasi.
Okay. Wow.
Another Adefarasi from another church also.
But of course, both of them Yorubas, right?
Yes, Yorubas.
Oh, interesting. Because the one I told you that was congregated with Tony Nnadi, he looks younger.
They say that one is Yemi.
Okay. Mazi, do you know that one?
Huh?
Do you know that one?
I don't even know their difference. I don't follow all those people. I don't follow them. I only hear their name. That surname, I hear that surname more often. That I hear that surname, but I don't know about the main people.
Okay, well, because for some of us, we are all over, everywhere. We dig and search, information everywhere and stuff like that, just to get ourselves acquainted with situations. So, but like I said, that would have been biggest surprise if that very one I'm talking will go and make a statement like that. So for me, quite frankly, I'm not too surprised. I've said it also in the past that most of these Yoruba pastors, they are not Christians. Most of them, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Most of them, they joined Christianity, they became pastor because Christianity is a very fashionable way to become a billionaire. They are all billionaires, private jets here, and some have two, some have three. Tell me what religion, Muslim, Islam, or what, that would have given them such wealth, unimaginable. Adeboye is arguably, if not the richest, one of the richest pastors in the world. So goes Oyedepo. So goes Kumuyi. All of them. So I saw when Adeboye came, when Kumuyi came to UK, I saw the money that. So so that is the thing. But because
if they tell you that Deeper Life leader will relocate to London finally, will you believe it?
Okay. And he has also, in this recent time, has come up because I don't know the affiliation they have. Of course, we know they are Yorubas.
They are all together. They are all
together. And Tunubu. So he has come out also to say that there is no genocide. But he ran away. He ran away from the Nigerian after deceiving millions and millions of people about God say, when God did not say anything. They are all using the TV now, using the internet, using the social media, but they condemn me that it's a sin to have TV. Social media is so you tell me, which God are these people worshiping? Which
God is changing now. Their own God is changing. It's not stable.
Okay.
Because the God that was telling him to throw away TV that time have changed and become a civilized God.
Exactly. So if you are a Biafran, you are attending to these people's church and you are putting your hard and little money to them, where you are wasting your time because they are even laughing at you. So, my brother, can you also?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that submission. Before we go to my brother Obi-Wan, before we give Obi-Wan the mic, I think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is already in court. He has arrived in court already. So we are going to be going up to see what is going to be the update. He's already in court. There is nothing to say. He has said all he had to say yesterday. No law, no case. That is where we start.
Let them do.
Challenge them. Tell me the law. In the next second, I will enter the dock to defend myself.
Exactly.
A simple request.
Yeah.
The judge will not answer it.
How may say anything? How may say anything how to make? How may let them do. Let them do.
Whatever they decide, let them go ahead and do it.
Exactly.
So we're watching. Obi-Wan, take the mic. Go on. Speak to us, Obi-Wan.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
You're welcome, my brother.
I think this moment that I greet everybody on the studio and the ones watching on the comment section and everybody. But what I just got to say is, I think this moment is a moment that is very, very. I don't know how I'm gonna put it. Like sit down and watch and see how it falls, because it's like
We are watching.
us, yeah, like because everything is being recorded now to the lowest level,
To the
that
lowest.
to the lowest level, to the extent that you keep wondering, what is it? How did these people get their certificate in law school, or do they intentionally just choose? But I believe they intentionally choose to disengage themselves from reality, and you always see the repercussion after. They think they are doing us, they are doing themselves. Now, whatever that is going on now in Nigeria will actually give you a replica of what is going on in the government of Nigeria based on Christian level. Because I do not understand why a huge, or should I say, Christian community or people of Christianity is being taken out of Nigeria, and people that calls themselves pastors and reverends and whatever they call themselves are not saying anything. Rather, they just support whatever that is going on. Now, you can understand the infiltration of when you say you are serving God, because the system of Nigeria gave opportunity for criminals to enter inside the church.
Yes.
The same way the system of Nigeria, the political space of it, gave businessmen opportunity to enter inside the political arena. Because majority of them who politicians, ask them, what is your occupation? You say, I'm a politician. You don't have any business. You don't, nothing. You are just, that's why you see them when they cling to power, they don't want to let go, because that's the only source of income that they know about. And then you now see them when they come, you tell them to say that this is white, they want to turn it to become blue. Because all this somehow that America offered to come and help the government of Nigeria. Listen very carefully. America offered to come and help the government of Nigeria to eliminate the terrorists that they have been trying to eliminate since the past 20 years. And it seems like the government is actually trying to tell America that they are invading their sovereignty. It's like the government just standing between the gap between Imona Abiase intercede for us. I think on the Catholic in America, they are another apostle to intercede for them. Yeah. So it seems like Nigerian government is interceding on behalf of the terrorists, which they said they are fighting. This is leave our terrorists for us. It's our own. Let us. Somebody, I was listening to one senator saying something. We know we have when we are in house. It is so funny. This guy is a senator in the Senate chamber. We are here. We are Nigerians. We do have internal quarrel. If we have that kind of quarrel, we fight it. We fight it out because it's in the house. But when we have an outsider coming to interfere we have to put hands together to fight that person. Now, you want us to put hands together to fight somebody that is coming to help us. Those terrorists, where do they come from? Are they internal? Didn't they come from somewhere? Careful, the kind of things that you see that people are speaking in in a place where they're supposed to be the ones making decisions for the betterment of the citizens of the country. Or they somehow that now other countries are thinking of sending satellite to the moon and trying to improve the technological system of their country and upgrading the airport and the seaport and all those kind of a thing. And these guys are busy in the Senate telling us to fight them, to join hands together to fight America. Like the government, it seems I keep trying to seek why is it like this? Why is the government why is the government trying to protect those that are killing their own citizens? It's unheard, man. I cannot believe my ears sometimes. The things that you hear coming out of Nigeria. And the Christian Association or whatever, by now, Nigeria should have been on fire. Okay, for Nigeria, Omega half in Nepal. It happened, even a quarter of it did not happen in Nepal. Look at, but I think some of them don't understand that the season we are now is a season of liberation. Check Tanzania now. I saw a video because they off their internet.
Yeah.
And I later saw a video where somebody uploaded a video of what is going on there. A man, Mazi choose. Ifoka bodies of people are lying on the street. Mandia Bala Ebonishi. Obala Wosisiana main road. Like Africa. If Okadi Ebulozu first Obala, you still see the head of the person open in the middle of the street. Like the whole street. These are citizens. You see, like a bullet by an easy mother. Obala seen at the center of the road. That towards the gutter.
Anybody on the soldier?
Yes, now because the
military soldiers, all their forces now, the government forces.
Yeah,
Africa.
because they off the internet.
Africa.
Abia, if you go and when they are parking like up to 10 bodies, both kids or whatever, at the same place. Like imiable na main road, everybody call Coco. Na main road. Bodies of people na main road.
The same thing is happening in Cameroon, or they can have off their own internet too.
They keep, because now it seems like these guys, even though that I expected such to happen, because when you use to a particular system of government, and then most of these leaders, they go in there, have prepare to go their life, knowing that when they have headache, they travel abroad. When the citizens are clamoring for that, they feel that no, their shop can achieve it. So, and for the fact that they have the guns in their hand, they will fight back. And you can imagine seeing such videos coming out from any Western country. By now, do you know what would have been happening to that president? When Khalifa of South Korea or North Korea, I don't know which of these people, when the president wanted to put martial law.
South Korea now, in
the middle of the night, and all the senators ran. They ran to their cabinet, to the house. Even though not Boshi Gate, they all jumped fence. They jumped fence to go and do the voting because in the army will go their helicopter. They are thing. Now been a government house. These people went there to actually vote on it. That was how the president got into trouble. Mana Bola Tinubu will be walking inside the Senate, and all the senators that are meant to represent their constituency are singing, "On your mandate, we shall stand." That was it, Bola Tinubu on your mandate. All the senators. Kuroshoto. Bola Kula had anything pass their bill. Okay, with $1 billion. Everybody, they will just sign it. Criminals, businessmen that are supposed to be in our chanja or main market are all in the government. when they come, they promise you the same thing that they promised you last 4 years. It seems like everybody just forget.
Building of road,
They,
light.
I'm
road
telling you,
every year. Light, road.
I'm still waiting to
Infrastructure,
see
light,
Dubai
road, every
in
day,
Anambra
light,
State.
road.
They keep lying. Solu don't want who know ya turn Anambra State to Dubai. We were all happy. And that's not professor.
We don't see the Dubai. Oh God.
I'm telling you. And you ended up bringing out people in their code when they speak, they are maltreating people. What I keep wondering is what it is that has been going on before the internet came around.
Exactly.
Imagine. Yeah.
Before the internet, in because now internet, you know, in my hand I got on before internet came. As him, I didn't know. Onye jebe ije kpekpere n'ụlọ ụka anya kene Chukwu nna maka that person wepụtara this social media.
I mean it too. The person needs to be prayed for.
I'm telling you, because look at what we are doing here now. Majority of us, some non-office, some non-bed, some are doing so many things, but they are in the media. We are contributing, talking. Before you have to wait until 4 o'clock. Even should I say 3 on Saturday, 3 in Hakagodi regular line in a TV. Calgary line before Mazi Nnamdi, then we go national anthem, then we make cartoon, all those stuff. Senate news, the news only by 7 o'clock and 9. That is the only time you know what is going on in Nigeria. But this time around, anybody can come up live from any location. Any them Tanzania, Aquatoegum, Africa need it.
That is why when we say our own situation is difficult than any other people that have fought for freedom of Africa. Look at even the white, the Northern Africa, the Arab. Okay, for us to change their own regime. Did you see how easy it was for them?
Yeah.
Mubarak with 40 years of ruling, 40 years they changed him. Tunis did the same thing. Algeria did the same thing. You saw how easy it was for Africa.
These ones have Batago Hantanobara. Corruption have bago every
any black African country, it will be shedding of blood. Without shedding of blood, nothing will work.
Yeah. If one in a Chegwam Kitana, Imana here na Tanzania, we hear Nigerian government can do when everybody decide to do something.
What did they do for answers?
Yeah, they did it. The Mananka and Hamen,
they're so evil that when they kill, they take the cops.
Yeah. They teach them how to cover up their shit.
Yes.
Brother, can I say something 1 minute quickly, if you don't mind?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. So, quite frankly, I'm going to say it, and it hurts. It's going to hurt, but it's the truth, and therefore we have to say it. My observation is that when you look at black people, and I've made I gave a story to Brachus one time, if you remember the incident, what I experienced with the ambassador. That I told you the story. Well, that is a fairy tale story, but the truth of the matter is that my observation is that there's something that is not right within the COG. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are black in Africa or black in Asia or South America. Well, for America, the blacks in America, they are slightly, and let me use the word, slightly different. And I think it has to do with the fact that the whites in America, who are Europeans, by the way, the whites in America, they are European people who went there, who revolted against the monarchy, the British monarchy. So I think that experience, the interaction and the battle, the things they've seen with these white Americans, the European Americans, has sort of kind of changed them slightly from the normal average black man. It is sad, but we must face the truth. If you are human enough, you must be able to face the truth. Black people went so, Nnamdi Kanu has been singing it. You can see everything playing out. Can you imagine that over 200 million people we sit down and allow a guy like Turubu, who is a well-known drug trafficker, right? Forfeited money over drug criminality, a money launderer, and a certificate forger. And you tell me you're a human being?
They allow him to contest. Not even that he won. You allowed him to contest.
And all of them, they see that they call him President Trubu, President Trubu. How does your conscience prick you? How does it feel?
That is why Donald Trump. That's why Donald Trump is
disgraceful.
That at some point that I see Nigeria is a disgraced country because why? The population, number one, population-wise, how many people are there in the government? How many people? Exactly. To compare with the citizens of Nigerians itself. Exactly. That now one day, if they choose to shut down Asuro, upon and they buy choice shot down Asuro, it will happen within 30 minutes. That is why it's a disgraced country. Because we are big for nothing.
Gaddafi, before Gaddafi, when Gaddafi was around or was alive, Gaddafi came to Nigeria and he looked at Nigeria. He looked at the population. He looked at the potential, the natural resources. He said that Nigerian are empty drum that makes the loudest noise. That is big for nothing. Gaddafi, that was his word, not mine. Gaddafi called Nigeria big for nothing. Then Mandela,
Mandela came talk about the word of Trump. It's not only Trump that have spoken those words.
Okay,
I remember this of Gaddafi.
Yeah,
out Nigeria at every point in time when he meets them, he calls them out.
Yeah. Now, Mandela went to Nigeria. Mandela cried. He said that how can a country so blessed, endowed with all manner of riches, resources, everything, and yet so poor?
Brains, even brains across the world, they are the one running the world.
And when you
Nigeria, they are the brain. They have go to US. They are the most educated in the US.
Anybody who is not
in the US, they are from Nigeria. And go and check them. They are Biafran. So,
hey, anybody who is not
these people, they tell you when they tell you that the most educated immigrants in US are Nigerians. Go and check them.
Yeah. In summary,
from the south.
In summary, Brad,
from the south, 80% are from Biafra land.
Yeah, in summary, in my assessment, in summary, anybody who does not believe or accept or work towards the disintegration of this demonic, perpetually dark entity called Nigeria, that person itself is evil. It's just as evil as they come. That is a summary of how I look at it, because trust me, there's nothing, Nigeria will never change. And it's not just, okay, we are talking about Nigeria now because of the uniqueness, but overall, the black man have problem, but something has to be done, and it will start from the disintegration of Nigeria, because Biafra is going to be the one to show the light, and we seal off the border, because we will not allow these people. They have to watch. They will watch and see how human being can develop, progress, innovate.
My brother, what you understand is that yeah, the period we are now is the period that nobody, I repeat, nobody, no matter however, wherever you come from, that will actually stop what is about to happen in Nigeria. The government itself is not making things easier for that not to happen. Understand my point? If they will correct it, they could have been doing something, because now Nnamdi Kanu were able to win everybody's heart, because Nnamdi Kanu sold a very nice El Dorado, telling you a better future, telling you what is going to come up next. The government of Nigeria, or people that insisting on one Nigeria, is not even promising you of a better life. Yeah, and with this shenanigan that is happening in court, that to the extent that they are even showing that Nnamdi Kanu already won them in court, that they just want to keep him. That's why they postponed for today. Can you imagine Nnamdi Kanu telling a so-called magistrate that in which law I defend myself? And that person is proudly sitting on that thing with that white bedsheet on their head with no answer.
Yeah. That tells you everything.
This thing or ya survive. As no one that is what is going on, because it has gotten to a place where even one more today understands what is going on in Nigeria. Mado nego law, but majority of us now start understanding what is going on in Nigerian judiciary. So wherever you are, whoever it is, and we go that torogorogo ibejiri with scissors, into two or not the same length. So what is going on in Nigeria is that now we go hatred between the north and the south. It can never do in Nigeria now. One Nigeria. Number one, you must put referendum in the constitution, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Number two, you must change the constitution of Nigeria. Then when you put all these things in place for Nigeria to work, is it not breaking the Nigeria? It is breaking Nigeria.
Exactly.
For Nigeria to work today, it must be broken. We cannot coexist, whether we like it or not. Anya may coexist. It can never. So whether you propose for Nigeria to be divided, fine. Or whether you propose for us to remain as one Nigeria, but the only thing that can make Nigeria to work is once you put those things that I mentioned now. And when you put those things that I mentioned now, don't you think that before you finish the referendum, that almost all the country, all the citizens, that they support it? Chaos in it. So everybody na ballot. The Nigerian government actually keep the country as one. They could have been doing better. But every institution in Nigeria they go down. Every institution. I can institution they hold them responsible for what they did. Because that's why if you are not hold accountable of what you are doing, Ndi commit. Dave Umahi could not tell us how much per 1 kilometer ego no area. So many people. And by now everybody is still keeping quiet. There's no institution that is working. Everyone is going down. Everybody, every institution in Nigeria is going. A well-known, country that moves on. Now announce na radio every time about the number that you call when you have police brutality. They announce it, encouraging you to find police in Nigeria doesn't have that. Even a police officer don't even know constitution. He doesn't even know what is right. And you come out and start telling him about his right. He has a gun. Before, because all the go man that you have to be high. And so that you can be able to stand it. I give man a degree of sun heat individuals in Nigeria that can affect your brain the way you think. And somebody is so frustrated will carry AK-47 and stand in the street. You will bruise your C-class with air condition where be also get park. Can it be police in Ajomak insurance? What concerns police with insurance? Insurance. Why police? Until you get to the station, you will explain. Because of insurance. Our most insurance. Continue.
Thank you so much, my brother. You've spoken well. Let's give the mic to our brother Greg. Bro, Greg is there. Go ahead and take the mic, bro. Greg, let's hear you. Greg, unmute yourself.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. In the house. My greetings to Biafrans and anywhere anybody is listening. We'll thank God today again as we looking forward to see what is coming up again today in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case in the Abuja court. All we know is we have somebody who is behind him, somebody that cannot intimidate. Even nobody in the world can intimidate who is standing for him. And that is the Most High God. who is with him. So we pray that every situation will be, an atmosphere will be controlled by the Most High.
You see?
And remember our brother Mazi, Simon Ekman, the PM. May heaven be his strength. And may all the God's servants in heaven surrender him and keep him for us. Healthy, sound mind, and fight the remaining fight that's remaining in Finland, and bring victory for the people of Biafra and the people of the world, because what they are fighting is justice. God is a God of justice. So anytime the people who is fighting for justice win, heaven win at the same time. So that is our